This is my review of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Okay, so that time I got reincarnated as a slime is back, sort of. I mean, this is technically an OVA, but it's the length of a full episode, yet isn't part of the first season. It's complicated, but it is a really funny episode, and I do recommend you watch it, but it is very interesting. So, it's mostly just shenanigans that you would expect from the show, but it's got some really funny moments in it. So, Rimuru, tired of Shion and Shuna constantly fighting over him, tries to figure out a substitute to replace him so that they aren't constantly wrestling over him and pulling him apart into pieces and all that, because he's kind of sick of it, and I don't blame him. So, at first he decides to make body doubles, but realizes that eventually everybody's going to want one, and that will drain his mana very quickly. So he just starts thinking of possible substitutes, and eventually comes across the idea of a beanbag, shaped like him, like a beanbag chair kind of thing. So, after coming to the conclusion, he tells the two to put him down and asks Shuna if she's able to, I don't know, produce the cloth for him. And oddly enough, she knows what spandex is, and apparently spandex is indeed canon in that world, apparently, somehow. And Rimuru is genuinely surprised, but he realizes that it's not going to be easy to find the stuffing for it. And when failing to explain what polybeads are to Garp suggests something kind of like a substitute, something called Sarasa, which is basically really smooth sand that only appears in this one location and nowhere else in this lake. But Garb also mentions that there is in fact a monster that lives at the bottom of the lake that could pull you down if you get too close and aren't careful. And Rimuru takes that into consideration when deciding to go on the mission. So he decides that the best idea is to just bring everybody with him and travel in numbers to make things a little bit easier. So he tells everybody that they're going on a picnic, after which they're going to harvest Sarasa from the sandbar. And he decides to let some of his followers in on it, mostly a couple of the guys who wouldn't really care either way. And Benimaru is ecstatic because he realizes that if Shion gets a little plushie of Rimuru, then she'll fondle over it like she does the real thing, and she will eventually just stop trying to cook, which will benefit basically the entire village. So they head to the lake, and somebody kind of didn't pass the message on to Shion that her cooking sucks, because she made a crock pot of I don't know what that sinks into the ground and is somehow melting. So when that fails, she brings out a rice ball, which I'm pretty sure is possessed. I'm pretty sure it's possessed. And Rimuru freaks out, and Shion drops it, and it starts rolling toward the lake. Gabiru, who was there and what came with them, attempts to stop it, but after realizing that it is indeed possessed, or at least looks like it is possessed, decides to turn tail and run, and flies into the sky using his wings, and it rolls into the lake, and Shion beats him up over it with no real help cooperation from Gabira, who is kind of upset that her brother ate some of the meal that she prepared for her master, and is kind of upset, and she helps Shion beat him up. Afterwards, after everybody's ate, they get changed into their swimsuits, which Garp and his brothers generously made. All of the girls have bikinis, all of the guys have Speedos and standard trunk shorts, and even Iringa got a little suit. And Rimuru got one as well, but it resembles a school uniform, so he doesn't wear it. But before they can even go to the middle of the lake to get the Sarasa, Milim shows up, apparently upset that she wasn't invited to the party, and to help harvest Sarasa. And while Rimuru monologues internally that the main reason is because he knew she would probably destroy everything if she showed up and tried to help, and was thus avoiding telling her about it, he makes up a lie that he thought she would be busy and wouldn't want to come. But she reveals otherwise and then changes into her swimsuit using magic, which isn't too much different from her standard apparel, which resembles a swimsuit anyway, so her outfit isn't that much different from her standard swimsuit, apparently. And that's kind of funny. She didn't really change all that much. She just kind of removed some things here or there and changed the material it was made out of. That was it. So Milim brings the rest of the group into the lake, and Rimuru begins to wonder if the monster is actually in the lake. And true to form, is suddenly attacked by a giant tentacle, which pulls him under. And a bunch of other tentacles surface and grab all the other people in the vicinity. And it resembles something out of a hentai. So, that's it. That's there. And while Rimuru is kind of daydreaming at first, as he was with the swimsuits, just a little bit, he slowly begins to realize it's not as great as he might think, and tries to destroy one of the monster's tentacles, only to discover that they regenerate pretty much instantly, and realizes that the best way to deal with it is to confront the source, and switches to his slime form and goes right down to the bottom of the lake, where he finds the monster responsible, and it resembles a giant sea mollusk of some kind, and it's clearly upset and seems to just be lashing out, as Rimuru quickly notes, and wonders why it's so upset. And his answers are answered. He gets his answers when he finds out that the monster actually ate the demon-possessed rice ball. And realizes that he needs to help its stomach, so he gives it a bunch of healing potions, and that remedies the problem, and it stops attacking all the people. After which, Rimuru teaches it magic sense and befriends it, and resurfaces, only to discover that everybody's swimsuit got destroyed. And they all change into their standard day clothes. So after Rimuru explains the situation, Shion asks what caused it to go berserk, and while Rimuru tries to play it off as cool and does it and tries not to bring it up, suddenly the demon-possessed rice ball shows up and it's just there. It just rises to the surface. Rimuru hears it making its weird noise and instantly attacks it with a water blade, which ends the threat of the demon rice ball once and for all. So, yes, the demon rice ball is very, very funny, and it's a recurring joke throughout the episode, and I love it. It is hilarious. So, and Rimuru, after realizing that the Sarasa is actually made by the monster, realizes that he would need to come back and continue to make multiple trips to get more, and because he promised the monster that he would visit it. Although, it turns out his plan was for nothing, as apparently the little plushies are basically pale in comparison to the real thing, and things basically go on as normal. So, the episode was funny. I liked it. It is very simple, and I'm assuming it was released to promote the upcoming... What is it? The upcoming anime DVD or whatever, which I may have to buy at some point, but if that is what it is, then that was a real good way to promote it, because that was one of the funniest things I had ever seen. It was a great episode, little side episode that had literally nothing to do with the overarching plot. Is an original thing for the anime, and it was hilarious. I loved it. But yeah, now there's really nothing else I can say except that this episode was funny, and you should go watch it, because I loved it. It was funny as hell. I genuinely enjoyed it. It was a great little watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that in the future, and if they continue to make more OVAs in the future. I don't know if they will, but it seems that the schedule for them is kind of sporadic, because episode 2 was just randomly... This is the second OVA, by the way. It just randomly came out on Crunchyroll, so I have no idea if they're going to release the other ones, or if you're going to have to buy in the DVD and watch them. But either way, if you guys do indeed enjoy this new little episode that had literally nothing to do with anything, then what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below to keep up to date with what's going on with the channel, because I post channel updates over there, and you don't really want to miss them because it'll keep you up to date with what's going on. And also, check out my Patreon description below as well if you want to help support the channel. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and it helps you guys out because it gives you guys access to a bunch of different perks so that you guys can show demonstrate your support for the channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace! Yoshi did do one bad thing in his entire life. So apparently, a long time ago, back when Masayoshi was in the 1st grade, he was in school. It was the end of the day. He went to leave. His umbrella disappeared because in